Okay, so I'm here today to take a first look at using the Keurig Rivo cappuccino and latte system. If you've watched my previous video, I did an unboxing. I've got it put together, I've cleaned the water reservoir, I've cleaned the frothing pitcher, and now I'm just going to do the first steps as far as priming the system. So first thing I want to point out is that the power button is over here on the side. This is my first time turning the system on. So now I was instructed to fill the frothing pitcher to the minimum line and insert it to prime that part of the system. So I'm waiting for the control panel to flash, and then it says I'll hear a beep. Might take a minute, it says. Okay. Looks like we're ready. Got some flashing going on. I'm gonna press the latte froth, which would be the center one. Okay, it says you will hear a single beep when the frothing pitcher has been positioned securely. If it has not, you'll hear the 3 beeps, which is what I just heard. So I guess I did not have that pushed in far enough. That's a good point to note. All right, so it is ready for me to remove that and discard that water. While I'm doing that, I'm going to prime the actual machine. So it says to put a mug on the drip tray, press the espresso lungo button, which is this button here. We'll let that run. All right. So the priming of the machine is finished, and now we will be ready to do our first coffee. All right, everything is primed. I've got my stuff rinsed out, and now I am going to make a cappuccino. So I want a little just French vanilla in there. Just put a splash at the bottom of the cup. I'm going to do decaf. This is the size of the packets, so they're pretty tiny if you're used to traditional Keurig or Keurig View pods. This is much smaller. Goes in there. For cappuccino, it says to fill to the minimum fill line. And not, it says many, many times, do not exceed the max fill line. So I'm gonna guess it could be pretty ugly if you decide to not heed those warnings. All right, so one little beep means I've got it in the right place. Now I'm just gonna pop that down. Okay, and it says for a cappuccino to do the short espresso, which would be this one. Oh, it already turned off. One thing I am noticing is this thing turns off very quickly. So make sure you know what you're doing, unlike me. Now it says when the espresso is, oh shoot, I did this backwards. I think I was supposed to froth the milk first and then do the espresso. I skipped that spot, so, or skipped that step. So we will let this brew, and then it says to press the cappuccino froth button, which would be this first one here. And you can see here, I'm not sure if you can read it or not, but it breaks down which button is which. So while that's doing that, you can take a look at that beautiful, it smells delicious. Setting up this machine was super easy. I would say all told, from unboxing to cleaning to getting to this point, if I wasn't worried about filming it for you guys, would probably take a maximum of 10 minutes, which is not a bad time frame if you're, you know, wanting to get your coffee fix on. And after I make this coffee, what I'm gonna do is just see if I can froth up some milk for you to show you by itself what the different frothing levels are. Because that, of course, is my favorite part of any of these coffee drinks. So you can see the cappuccino froth is really nice like that. And then pour it in. And I've got a beautiful cappuccino. And it tastes quite good. All right, let me go and rinse out my frothing pitcher, and I will be back and do another froth cycle, and we'll take a look at that. All right, so I just wanted to point out that my daughter is a barista at Starbucks, and so she's very, very picky about her coffee in the foam, and she is oohing and aahing over this. Look at that. I mean, that is some serious foam, and that's after she stirred the drink up a little bit. That's amazing. All right, so that being said, that was cappuccino foam or froth. I'm gonna try the latte next. So it says for crafting a latte, you wanna pour the milk to the max fill line. And let's do that. So I'm going to use another one of the sample decaf pods. And if you watched my unboxing video, I didn't know what the reservoir was in the back part of this piece, and I found out just now that is actually where the used up pods go, and then when it's full you just pull it out and empty it. So that makes cleaning up in the morning quite simple. All right, we'll start frothing that milk. To make vanilla latte, so I'm going to add just a little bit. Might have added a little too much vanilla to that, but you can never have too much vanilla. This one also says to pull a short espresso, so we're going to do that. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the short espresso. I don't know if you can see the color coming out of the machine on the video, but it is just gorgeous. Okay, so again, there's our short espresso. Froth. And since a latte, of course, has less foam, more milk, that's what we end up with. Just beautiful. Oh, and it tastes delicious. I'm very excited. This is so easy to use. The coffee, I've never had this Lavazza coffee before, but oh my goodness gracious, is it delicious. I highly recommend it. So far, even though this is my first, hour with the machine, I'm really pleased. Look forward to seeing how it holds up. I've read some reviews, so it's kind of iffy. But again, one of the benefits of buying it at Bed Bath & Beyond is that you can always take it back if it breaks. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first look and try out of the Keurig Rivo cappuccino and latte system. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. That really helps. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, so I'm here today to take a first look at using the Keurig Rivo cappuccino and latte system. If you've watched my previous video, I did an unboxing. I've got it put together. I've cleaned the water reservoir. I've cleaned the frothing pitcher. And now I'm just going to do the first steps as far as priming the system. So first thing I want to point out is that the power button is over here on the side. This is my first time turning the system on. So now I was instructed to fill the frothing pitcher to the minimum line and insert it to prime that part of the system. So I'm waiting for the control panel to flash, and then it says I'll hear a beep. Might take a minute, it says. Okay. Looks like we're ready. Got some flashing going on. I'm gonna press the latte froth